Yeah, so all this going on because I got the day off for Memorial Day, another holiday. So my enjoyment, I don't have to go to work. And I'm not a fan of the holidays, but I'm a fan of being off work. You know, you should remember your people every day. And so when people get old, ask them the knowledge that they got so you can know where your family came from. Because one day they ain't going to be here. Also happy I got to go live with my great grandmother every year. And she showed us different stuff, and then people even said how mean she was. But I found out for myself she wasn't mean, she just didn't play no games. And I got a lot of what I know from her. A lot of my success comes from that lady, Louise Smith, originally Louise Leach. So family, y'all out there, y'all reach out. I got to kick it with her when she was in Arkansas. And I'm going to run down some of my other people. So my Uncle Wilbert, I love him to death too. Used to go to his house, had good breakfast and stuff like that. His wife Jean, she used to cook, and Aunt Jean put it down on that breakfast tip. I used to love going over there, shoot pool on his pool table. My Uncle Wilbert was a pastor at Lord Temple Missionary Baptist Church. That's why I got baptized during revival. And then, my cousin, D'Angelo Wakefield. Me and him had seen each other since he was a baby. He wasn't even one, and I didn't see him until he was about 24. But when I did see him, we was just like we never missed a day. He died from an aneurysm, but D'Angelo, man, that boy was like glue in my family. And we got so many people, that we turn around and lose, and we see them come and we see them go. So you gotta, be with your people every day. Show them love. Quit talking behind people's back unless you're gonna tell them so they can improve whatever you're talking about. I gotta talk about my cuz Rick. Y'all know Rick. Ricky, he would cut hair. Ricky Gray, big boy. In other words, like he say, fella. Couldn't nobody mess with Rick cutting hair. But Rick was funny though. Mickey paid for him to go to barber school. And Rick didn't finish barber school because he didn't want to. But he still had more haircuts than any barber that I know. House lined up with people, and he was getting them through. Rick ain't had no license, but he still wasn't cut on Mondays. I just didn't understand that one. He cut me up on Monday, but as far as the crib, he was closed on Mondays. And Rick was my boy. He the only one still drunk St. Ides. Called Rick at 4:30 in the morning. He like, come through, cuz. Ain't no thing. Come through, cuz. They don't really make a lot of them like that. Show love to your people. My cousin Thad, New Orleans. New Orleans, stand up. My cousin Thad, he came through when my daddy was working long hours and had to do his different stuff that he had to do in life. Thad came through. He was about 18 and hung with me and my brother to watch us in Detroit. I was in the 6th grade. Thad gave me a lot of game in life. Thad showed me the difference of what you do when you with a woman or a girl. Thad was a man. Remember your people. Thad, Mama Jerry, coolest person I know that ever had sickle cell. Lived a long time too. Aunt Jerry, she wasn't no joke. She was funny though. Tell you like it is, but man, that lady she was funny. Always represent your people, man. I'm gonna keep telling you that. Don't wait for Memorial Day. Represent them every day. Tell your kids about the ones that they ain't never met before. The ones that they ain't never gonna get a chance to meet. There's so many people out here. JW, my main man, John Walter Fair. He was the man, and his son gave me the Thunderbird like he told him to when he passed. JW gave me nothing but game. He the one told me a lifetime of pleasure No, he say a moment of pleasure is worth a lifetime of responsibility. You gotta always remember your people. My Uncle Derek, he got took out by somebody, but Derek was the tallest dude in our family. He was the man. He was the baby of his siblings. My cousin Kenny. We call him Pooh, Kenneth Wright. That's my man. Me, my cousin Pooh, my brother Clee, my cousin Marv B. We ran hard as kids, doing our thing. So I'm telling y'all, man, remember your people. Remember them every day. Don't let them go. Alright, now, the food is done, the grill is clean, everybody having fun running around. But I want to give a shout out to a few more people since I'm doing this video to help y'all stop just enjoying these holidays on holidays and start respecting people and guiding yourself every day. Don't let the calendar tell you it's time to do something. Do it all the time. So some of the other people I want to shout out is Ma, that's my wife, grandmother. Vivian Jones, originally Vivian Hood. But I used to think she was my spiritual grandmother since I wasn't born by her. Me and her was so tight. And I come to know now, since she ain't around no more, that was my friend. We had ups and downs. I never disrespected her like some people did, but me and her, we was tight. Like, I would take my lunch breaks over there with her and we go just kick it. She said she wanted to go somewhere. I made that happen. Me and Ma go way back, and she never strayed from me. She always took care of me, talked to me, hung out with me. That was my girl. One time I'm working this little mechanic job, they ain't paying me nothing. Montgomery Ward's Auto Express for y'all people that know anything about Montgomery Ward's. Our car broke down and wasn't no fixing it. And she loved Cadillacs. She had a Cadillac, one car at the time. She gave me the keys to that car. Go and drive that car, Mickey, you trying to do something. Ma let me drive her Cadillac. And then the frame broke on there while I'm driving it because of these crazy Michigan winters. Ma didn't say nothing about that frame being broke. She didn't give me no hard time, nothing. And she never said no even after that, so she wasn't mad at me about it. Me and her did so much together. I miss my friend, but none of us can stay here forever. And some of us not worried about leaving. So sometimes it's better to not even shed tears about the person. I know you miss them, but if you really think about it, maybe they good. And maybe they alright and happy. I took care of her from the day I met her to the day I seen her go. So I'm good with that. Shalonda, that was my home girl. Shalonda, that's my granddaughter. And Shalonda, she come to all my little birthday parties and stuff. She had her troubles, but Shalonda showed up and did Shalonda. And she had these little dances. She stuck with them. She's one of them old school girls. She stuck to all the old school stuff from the 80s and 90s. She was a couple years older than me. She was one of them girls that didn't change. She kept the hairstyle. She kept everything real, kept it living, kept it going through. Deborah Ann, that was my daughter. Me and Deborah Ann had a lot of talks. She would tell me about growing up and her life and all that type of stuff. And that's why people wonder why am I so tight with the Jones. They even think I was a Jones. And that's because me and that family, we was solid. From the beginning to the end. There ain't been no end. They held me down. They was my family. That's my spiritual family. And that's why I felt like Ma was my grandmama. They, from the top to the bottom, they held me down. From all of them, even to the extended people, which I'll talk about after I mention Bud Freeman Jones. He was Ma's son too, and I can remember, times where he would get out of his vacation and come on back home, and Ma had me take her to go find him a ride. And Ma put him in some nice rides. I used to be wanting Ma to give me a car. She used to get him cars so tight. She got him a van. She got him a, I forgot what that red car was, but Ma was putting him in some rides. I was like, dang, I wanted to get one of them cars. And, it was crazy. And then talking about the extended people, Daryl. Daryl, he lucked out. He might have been caught up in his thing because, we're human beings and we all go down different paths. But Daryl took good care of Isaiah, and he always was a stand-up kind of guy. He was the classiest guy with problems that I knew. Daryl, they used to talk about Daryl. He was so smooth with it. Daryl was smooth. He was clean cut. And I don't know, what he did, but he kept some money. And he was determined to, make Isaiah know how to be a stand-up kind of guy. When Isaiah got older, he didn't recognize me because he hadn't seen me in a couple of years, and they saw me at work. And he said, man, you know who that is? Isaiah said, nah. He said, man, that's Mickey. He took care of you. He helped raise you. And Isaiah was looking like, oh, because he still was very young. He was about 16, 17 or something. Say, man, shake his hand. You shake a man's hand when you meet him. That was Daryl. That's how he was. And, there's always something different with different people, and people forget about it, but not me. I'm living them every day. You can't just let them go. And another extended person was Robert. Robert stepped up and did his thing with DeAndre. He kept it up, and Robert, always picture Robert where he kept a job. While he had his problems, he kept a job, and I always remember Robert had his shirt always tucked in. He had a belt on, always. You never saw Robert slouchy. These things you got to remember so you can pass these things along to the kids, and don't just do it on Memorial Day. Do it every day. Don't let the calendar guide what you're gonna be doing in life. Aaron. I bet y'all probably thought I wouldn't even think about that, but Aaron Reed, man, Aaron was all game. Aaron could tell you something. Another one of those old school dudes, shirt in the pants and the belt on. Aaron had sickle cell. He was cool too. Straight up cool. Aaron would tell you whatever he needed to tell you. He didn't go off into that picking side stuff. He gonna be straight up with whoever right and whoever wrong. Aaron Reed, man. I used to go talk to him, man. People don't even know why I'm going to talk to this man. He like 70, I'm like 14. All the way up until the time where it came for it to go down, I was there for him, because then I was in my 20s, and, he was at my job, and I think they gave him the wrong blood or something happened, and, he was getting some work done, and he said, Mickey, man, get this stuff. I don't want to drink this stuff. I said, man, I can't take that. He said, man, I ain't thinking about this stuff, and he threw it down on the side of the bed. He didn't take it. So, at times, that's the other thing. We got to respect people's wishes when they come to that point where, they know what's going on with their body more than the doctor do in most cases. Pretty sad one. I ain't going to go there yet. I'll end it with that. But I had two people that was physically the exact opposite of each other. but mentally they did the exact same thing. They act the exact same way. They talk the same way. One was my cousin Cricket, and the other one was my friend Susie. Susie was white, Cricket was black, and I'm gonna show them to y'all. I ain't gonna go there, but both of them ended up getting cancer, and both of them said screw that, and they just enjoyed their life how they had been enjoying it. You know, they smoked their cigarettes and they drank if they wanted to drink, and they enjoyed living. I mean, they didn't let that thing stop them. And I mean, the exact same stuff I heard from both of them, and they both had the exact same, you know, demanding attitude and demeanor, but they look totally different. My homeboy Phil, you know, Phil had renal disease, and he had been fighting that stuff, and you know, he used to stick his finger for the sugar, and then he got a pump. I remember just all the different stuff with Phil. Phil was my boy. And, you know, he was going through his thing, and he had a Dachshund, little dog. The dog had the same sickness that he had. And, you know, I used to go help Phil out and stuff, fix his cars and all that different stuff. And on his 50th birthday, man, Phil passed. They did a procedure on him for his heart. And I went up to see him, and me and him talked, and then he started saying he had shortness of breath. So I left out the room, and I mean, next time I seen Phil, he was on the machines and, you know, getting ready to go out. But I was happy because I didn't know Phil's family other than his mom, and his mom was going through her places of dementia at this time. And, you know, Phil's brother reached out to me. I had never met Phil's brother, and he talked to me about a lot of stuff, and I was proud to help him with Phil's ending finances and all that type of stuff. And I went to Phil's funeral, and I was honored as a speaker up there, and went to have dinner with all of them, and you know, it was quite different. And you know, I took my wife and Lola, and I took my boy Muhammad with me, and we really enjoyed Phil's family. That was real nice. Philip Freer, you know, but it was kind of messed up. He died on his 50th birthday, but at least he made it to 50 because they didn't think he would. And Phil, he was able to work all the way up until that day. Tatiana, my other home girl, she was Tatiana Reza. She introduced me to the world of the Ukraine, you know, and she taught me, you know, how to say stuff in Ukraine and all that stuff. And you know, the way I said it, she said, that sound like a girl in Ukraine. As I would say, Mishka. She would say, you know, you shouldn't talk as a Ukraine because you sound like a girl. You know, and I hit my some of my buddies that's still around with the Privyet and all that type of stuff, and you know, they always look at me funny, and it's probably because Tatiana told me it make me sound like a girl in Ukraine. But man, she gave me a lot of good friends that's Ukraine. I mean, I love Ukraine people because they straight up with you. Ain't no games. You know, if they ain't cool with you, they ain't cool with you. They let you know you can move on. You know, so and they like their liquor. I can't really drink that much no more, but it's fun, you know, just hanging and thinking about it. And so Tatiana is one of the reasons I am who I am today, because I was living in an urban area, and she told me, why you want to be the best person where you at? You don't have nowhere to go. If you the best one, you have nothing to look up to. You have no motivation. You know, she said, you know, go somewhere where everybody doing more than you, or most of the people doing more than you. And that's what made me, you know, pack up. Part of what made me pack up and move with my kids and my wife to a suburban area that I really couldn't even afford at the time. And I think that's one of the best things I did, because it gave my kids an opportunity to see something that they would have never seen living in that urban area, to have interactions they would have never had the ability to have. You know, and Tatiana always asked and talked about that all the way until the end of it. And, you know, I was a little upset because Tatiana was on this Weight Watchers, and she was going to the gym, and, you know, she had started losing weight a little bit, and she was all excited and happy. And, you know, the doctor told her she had pneumonia, but she really had cancer. So by the time she found out it was cancer, it was too late. So y'all get checked up, you know, and get second opinions. Don't trust these doctors all the time. You know, get a second opinion, because Ma's doctor told her the same thing. It was pneumonia, but it was cancer, and it was too late. Because, you know, we expecting these doctors to be righteous, and, you know, they're just people. Some of these people, they get into routines, and you know, they don't do all the stuff they should do. Like my mama doctor, my mama be coughing and stuff, and her doctor never bothered to get her a procedure on her esophagus. Recently she went to the hospital, the doctor ran some procedures on her esophagus, and now we gotta follow up on some stuff. I mean, she should have sent us to a ear, nose, and throat doctor before all of this happened. And so, you know, go to the doctor, and, you know, go get second opinions when you not getting results. You know, my daddy, he had a problem where he didn't get a procedure done when he should have got a procedure done. And then he started feeling like he had to throw up all the time. He couldn't eat right. He was feeling real bad. And I kept making him go to the doctor. And ultimately a resident found out what was going on with him, ran him over to the ER. And, you know, he was down for about 4 or 5 months. But it was because he kept going to the doctor that he got results. If he had to just listen to his doctor, you know, and didn't listen to me, he might not be here right now, because his kidneys was failing due to the situation. So another person, Maria Lucido, yeah, that was a nice little Italian woman. And I used to crack up because these doctors used to come in there trying to talk all sweet to her and get with her. And, you know, she just used to laugh at them, because Maria was married to Giuseppe. So Giuseppe Lucido, he was the man of the man. And Maria wasn't playing that. And she used to bring us cannolis that she made. And I don't really eat a lot of food that people make, but Maria made these cannolis, and, you know, I used to bring them home. We would eat them and stuff. And during Christmas time, Maria keep bothering me, because she had a Christmas tree lot. They had Christmas trees they grew and brought up here. Come get you a tree, come get you a tree. I went up there, and this one, I'm living in that suburban area I'm telling you about when I just got there. And like I said, I couldn't afford it. And Maria trees was like $150 and $120 and stuff. So I'm like, so where the trees cost a little less? Maria said, just go pick a tree. So I go try to pick a tree, and I can't pick a tree because they all cost too much for me. I gotta get the kids something to open up and play with. Like I said, I ain't have no money like that. I wasn't trying to do the street thing, so Maria come out there. Which ones look good to you? And so me and Lola, we tell her which ones look good to us. And Maria picked one of the expensive ones. Tell her grandson, wrap it up. And so they wrap it up, put it on the car, and we're in there talking in the little cab thing that they got. I forgot what you, little trailer thing. We're in there talking. She drinking coffee and eating cookies and stuff. And all right, I'll see y'all. I'm like, well, what about me paying for the tree? Don't worry about that. Get out of here. You know, and you know, Giuseppe, he never said nothing besides hi. But you know, Maria bothered me about getting a Christmas tree until it was over, until she left. You know, Maria was a sweet lady, but you wouldn't think that, because Italians are so firm and direct, just like Ukrainians. It's just in a different way. That you confused as a black person, because as a black person we think we gotta be extra courteous and extra nice to show people we nice. But no, not them. They nice to you and you don't even know they being nice to you. So I guess that's the thing to take into consideration when you at these stores and stuff and you see somebody from the Ukraine or from Italy or something like that. And I'm not talking about these fake Italians and Ukraine people. I'm talking about solid, actual, real people from those countries. They have a different character than we do. So take that into consideration, because these people are great. They got your back if they know you, and it don't have nothing to do with the color and stuff. Everybody has a something to say about a different race, because they don't live that race, but they see what they see, especially according to the media and according to the stupid things that we sit there and do. Like, we can try to walk down the street in a black neighborhood and you'll get chased. Everywhere else you can walk down the street, but you can move around the block and you can't walk around the block until people know you actually live around the block. So we putting that stigma on ourselves. So don't blame other people. And so, take into consideration that different cultures got different things and they talk to each other different. Don't get so offended because they not all happy, yes, and howdy doody like you might be, or how you was raised here in America. They still love you and still the same for you. And my buddy Gilbert, he was a security guard. He was the same age as me. And I used to try to get Gilbert to come to the gym. I think I got him to come twice. Gilbert was a big boy. And, Gilbert checked out in Meyer. Had a heart attack. And, I just try to tell my other people, take care of yourself. Because, Gilbert, he wanted to lose weight and all this stuff, but like many of us, he liked food. But he was a big boy even in high school. And, he was so big, I just knew he had to be the star of the football team, but he wasn't. He just was a big boy. And, because I really didn't stick to one high school. I went to 3 high schools. Yeah, 3. And, the Doughboys, the Huskies, and the Chiefs. I did all that. But I wasn't never really into none of those little things. I'm just mentioning it because people, they like that type of stuff. I started in Persian, went to Northern, then ended at Central. Then I went to the military. That's another story, another day though. But Gilbert, me and him talked a lot the last 2 years of his life. And he just couldn't hold on to it, I guess. So I don't know what his wife did, but she started losing a lot of weight after all of that. I don't know what she was doing, but I really wanted him to. Gilbert was a good man, so that's one of the people you want around, like just genuinely nice, pleasant, pleasing, easy to be around. So that was a big one. And then my granddad, Wilbert, I didn't even meet my granddad until I was like 14 years old, because my granddad, he was Rolling Stone, what they call him. Yeah, Rolling Stone. First time I even thought about that. But he was all over, and I heard all these stories about him, like how he shot people and he got into fights and went to prison, but he got out because of his mind state. And the first time I met him, at that point, one of his legs was cut off below the knee, the other one was cut off above the knee, and about 3 of his fingers was cut off. He had a 38 in the little bag. He was standing in the projects in Chicago, and he had his bed in the living room, and his girlfriend was young enough for me to look at, and I was like 14, so she had to be like 17, 18, and he had 2 babies, and so one of them was not his, the other one was his, but he treated her just like his, and we all treated her the same. Like, I still feel like she was his. This is just what I was told that it wasn't, but I feel like it was his. I know her as that. And that's how I'm always knowing, no matter what she say, no matter what somebody else say, that's my little auntie. And, what was crazy is, so I'm holding my auntie. Yeah, she was like 1, and the other one about 3. And so me and my brother, we went down there, and my daddy and all that. So I hooped everywhere I went. Everywhere I went, I played basketball. I want to play everybody everywhere. And so we out there, me and my brother, we dribbling the basketball in front of the house, and I look down the street, there go a basketball court. Ain't nobody playing though in the middle of summer. Me and my brother, we go down there, we start shooting the ball and stuff. And so my granddaddy had a dude, they call him sidekicks, I guess, but he didn't call him a sidekick, but that's what it was. He was always there to do whatever my granddaddy needed him to do. So he come down there. He like, man, y'all gotta come on back to the house. Your granddaddy wants you. So we going back down there because, like I said, my granddad was a serious dude. So ain't no questions or can we stay a little longer? None of that. It's time to get up and go. So we go down there. My granddaddy like, man, y'all can't go down there. He's like, only way you can go down there, I go down there, and right now I can't go down there. He said, man, this gangs out here, they don't know y'all. That being came out there and shot y'all. Ain't no talking or nothing. He knew we could fight, but he like, they ain't gonna fight you. They gonna shoot you off rip. They don't know who you here with. And all this time he telling me this, he got a raccoon sitting right here. My granddaddy actually had a raccoon and trained it too. And so he knew we liked that raccoon. He put that raccoon in his will. We got the raccoon when he died. My daddy ultimately made us let him go, but that thing was so big. And the special thing about my granddaddy, he drove a Caprice Classic from Chicago to Arkansas when me and my brother was down there with my grandmama the next year. I was 15 then. He drove it. And remember, I told you he ain't had no legs down there. He drove to Arkansas with 2 sticks and this boy that I told you about to see me and my brother. So, remember all that stuff so you can tell these stories and get this information to your people so that people can't change the story. Tell the true story and let it be. My last story, it's a sad story, but I know she alright. So, I'm not really gonna tell the story. I'm gonna just say, Sinead Clayton, she was family too. And sad to see her go so young and the way that it went. But yeah, that was a big one. And so I'm gonna go and check out, but I'm telling y'all, the thing about it is that these holidays is controlling lives. Don't let it happen. Just like I just told y'all all that stuff about all these people, this is what I do. Anybody that know me will tell you that Mickey talks about all these people all the time. Let's break the trends that the government has set up for us and become people again. Let's live by God. Let's live by us. Let's live by spirit. And we'll make everything stronger and better every single day. I hope y'all enjoy today and every day following. One more thing for Memorial Day. Don't think I forgot about the soldiers. I didn't talk about them because I don't know any fallen soldiers. And the other reason I didn't talk about them is because these people died because they joined the military, and the military serves governmental tyrants. We don't even know what we're fighting for when we go into fighting. We know what they're telling us, but we don't know the truth. And I can say what I want to say and say it however I want to say it because I've been in the military myself. I joined as well to do what I got to do for the country that I live in. As I get older, I realize there's a lot of stuff going on that us young dudes don't know nothing about. And then we serving, fighting, and doing all the different things you do in the military for tyranny. None of us There's so many different things on the earth. Why are we fighting for any? Why are people still trying to enslave people? Why are people still trying to treat people wrong when God gave enough resources for us to do everything we need to do as human beings if we be respectful and use it and do what we're supposed to do?